Applying to college is not cheap, right? It does cost a lot of money. Now, of course, you can do it like in an entirely budget way, or, if you're if you're okay with spending a little bit more, then of course you can have the advantages that come with, having money, right? So in this video, what I wanted to do is I sort of wanted to give you guys like a ballpark amount that you could be looking to spend when you're applying to college. Now, keep in mind that this does not discuss, anything about the actual tuition fee itself or the cost of actually living, on campus and stuff. This is just the process of actually applying to grad school, right? So the first part is the exam cost part, right? So in the exam cost part, you're looking at the resources to take the examination as well as the cost to actually take the exam. And then we have the application cost part, which is the cost of, applying to college, sending in your test scores and, accepting that, college offer and so on, all right? So let's first analyze the exam part. So in the exam part, again, we can split this into say 3 sections, all right? We have your coaching for the examination, we have the resources, and then we have the actual cost of the examination itself, right? Now I'm gonna be sort of splitting this analysis into like a budget version and then like a recommended version and then like a, like a full-fledged funding version, okay? So in like a budget version, let's say you don't go to any coaching at all, right? So that would be like, $0 you're spending on that, right? In another budget version, let's say you're not going for any textbooks at all. Let's say you're getting it from friends, or if you're like downloading illegal PDFs online or something, okay? So then that would be again like a flat out 0, right? So then the only thing that you will be paying is the cost of the examination, right? So if let's say you're taking the GRE and the TOEFL exam, I know there's a bunch of other exams out there. You have the GMAT and the IELTS and the LSAT and stuff, but I just want to give you guys an example that would be the GRE and the TOEFL combination, right? So this is how much it costs to take the GRE and this is how much it costs to take the TOEFL exam, right? So then if you take both of these exams, then this is sort of your overall cost in the exams portion, if you're looking at a budget application, right? Now let's look at a recommended application. Now let's say for a recommended application, you want to get a good score, so you're going to go to like a coaching, and maybe you're not going to go to like a complete full-fledged coaching, you're going to go to like, a milder coaching, so it might cost you like something around this. And then you're going to get say 2 textbooks. I usually recommend 2 textbooks for the GRE. So if you're getting 2 textbooks, this might be the cost that you'll be paying for those textbooks. And then of course you have practice tests as well. If you are going for practice tests, then of course this is how much you'll be getting that. Now for the practice test, the thing is I'm not going to be putting a too high an amount here. And especially for budget, I left practice tests as 0 because there's a lot of free practice tests online that you guys can use. Even on the recommended side, you don't have to spend a lot on practice tests. There are a bunch of free tests online. You don't have to spend too much money on it, okay? So in the recommended stage, you have your coaching, then you have your textbooks, then you have your practice tests, and then of course you have the cost of the exam, which is the same for everyone. Now, if you want to go for, full-fledged funding, if you want to be on like the higher end, if you want to spend more money, you can go to the more advanced coaching. You can buy, let's say, more textbooks, more practice tests and stuff. So this is how much, approximately that would cost you. And then we have the actual exam cost itself. So that would be the total amount that you're spending, right? So now for you guys watching this video, your amount can be anywhere from like the budget cost to the full-fledged cost, okay? So for me, like this was the amount that I spent on my actual, for the actual studying for the GRE exam, TOEFL exam and stuff. So you can see that, it doesn't exactly fall into one category. It's sort of just split in between, right? So this is sort of like the spectrum of cost you can expect, all right? Now let's look at the application cost, which is the actual, process of applying to college and then once you get admitted, accepting that offer, right? So first process of applying to college is actually sending your scores to those colleges, right? So again, we're gonna go with like, budget, recommended, and full-fledged, right? So let's say on a budget, you're applying to say 4 colleges, right? I usually recommend like, students apply to like a minimum of 4 colleges. Anything less than that is like just not a good idea to apply to college, right? So let's say budget, you're applying to 4 colleges, right? So if you're applying to 4 colleges, you just send test scores to 4 of these colleges. So the thing is, the first 4 scores are free when you're taking the GRE, so technically it would cost nothing, right? And then for the TOEFL, same thing, first 4 scores are free, so technically you'd be spending nothing. So then that is the cost of sending the test scores when you're applying to just 4 universities, right? Then you have the actual transcript. So now not every university will require a transcript. For example, I applied to 6 universities and 2 of them required that I send my transcripts, right? So for you guys, again, it might vary. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna assume that one of your colleges requires, that you send your transcript in. So this is how much it would cost you to send the physical copy of your transcript. Next, we have the application fee. So the application fee is like, if you're applying to the US, it'll cost approximately $100 to apply to each one of those US universities. Other countries, it may be cheaper, but I'm gonna assume that you are applying to the US and I'm gonna give you the value right here, okay? So let's say again you are applying to 4 universities, that would cost you again this much when you're applying to 4 universities. So that this is the total cost if you're on a budget, right? Now again, if you're on the recommended track, right? If you're on the recommended track, you'd be applying to 6 to 8 universities. Let's say you're applying to 7, like an equal average of 7 universities. Now, let's say you have sent your first 4 GRE scores and first 4 TOEFL scores for free to the right universities. So you had to send the rest of the scores to 3 more universities, right? So then this is how much that would cost you. And then after that, of course, you'd apply to these universities. So then this is how much your actual application fee would be. Now, let's say you're going to the full-fledged funding route, right? So then you'd be applying to say 10 universities, right? So if you're applying to 10 universities, then this is how much it would cost to, send your scores to those universities. This is how much it would cost for the application fee and the transcript. So then this is the range that you can sort of expect when you're applying to college. And then this is how much I spent when I was actually applying to college, right? So my exam costs were about this much and then my application costs were like this much. So in total, I paid this amount to apply to college. Now for you guys, of course, it may not be the same cost, but then a lot of you guys, if you're going through the recommended route, then it will probably cost you the same as much as it cost me, right? Of course, if you want to do it a little bit more budget, you can. If you want to do it a little bit more fully funded, you can do that as well. So that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, leave a like, and if you loved it, subscribe as well, right? I'll be back with more graduate program related information. Bye-bye.